What would happen if an individual consumed only sardines for 5 consecutive days? From a clinical nutrition perspective, this is a fascinating scenario because sardines are among the most nutrient-dense whole foods available. Despite being inexpensive and widely accessible, they are often overlooked in mainstream dietary discussions. Yet, emerging research continues to highlight their metabolic benefits. A clinical study conducted in Barcelona evaluated approximately 150 individuals who were divided into two groups. One group incorporated just 2 cans of sardines per week into their regular diet, while the other did not. Remarkably, the group consuming sardines demonstrated a significant reduction in the risk of developing type 2 diabetes, with risk markers decreasing from 37% to 8%. This outcome suggests that even modest inclusion of sardines may exert profound metabolic effects, likely due to their unique nutrient profile, including omega-3 fatty acids, high-quality protein, and micronutrients that influence insulin sensitivity and inflammation. Now, extrapolating from that data, we can consider a more intensive intervention, consuming 3 cans of sardines daily for 5 days. Each can provides approximately 23 grams of complete protein, meaning this approach delivers nearly 70 grams of highly bioavailable protein per day. In addition, each can contains roughly 900 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA, long-chain omega-3 fatty acids with well-documented anti-inflammatory and cardiometabolic benefits. At 3 cans per day, this equates to approximately 2,700 milligrams daily, which falls within a therapeutic range shown in research to significantly modulate inflammation, improve lipid profiles, and support brain function. Sardines are also exceptionally rich in micronutrients. They provide substantial amounts of calcium due to their edible bones, along with vitamin D, selenium, phosphorus, and extraordinarily high levels of vitamin B12. Often exceeding several 100% of the daily requirement per serving. Additionally, sardines contain taurine, an amino acid that plays a role in neurological function, cardiovascular health, and modulation of the inhibitory neurotransmitter GABA, which is associated with relaxation and improved sleep quality. From a metabolic standpoint, consuming only sardines effectively eliminates carbohydrate intake. As a result, insulin levels decline and the body begins transitioning from glucose metabolism to fat metabolism. Within approximately 24 hours, glycogen stores in the liver become depleted. Because glycogen is stored with water, this depletion leads to an initial reduction in water weight. This is why maintaining electrolyte balance, particularly sodium, potassium, and magnesium, is essential during such a dietary intervention. Unlike a complete fast, however, this approach provides substantial nutrition and protein, making it more sustainable for many individuals. It resembles what is known in the literature as a fasting-mimicking diet, where caloric intake is reduced and metabolic pathways associated with fasting are activated, yet nutrient intake is preserved. This distinction is important as it may reduce the risk of muscle loss and nutrient deficiencies commonly associated with prolonged fasting. During the first 1 to 2 days, some individuals may experience a transitional phase as the body adapts to ketosis. Ketosis is a metabolic state in which fat is converted into ketone bodies, which serve as an alternative fuel source for the brain. While this adaptation can initially feel challenging, it is often followed by increased mental clarity, improved focus, and reduced fluctuations in energy levels. Ketones are not merely a fuel, they also act as signaling molecules that influence inflammation, oxidative stress, and neuronal efficiency. By the second day, many individuals report a noticeable reduction in appetite. This is partly due to the satiating effect of protein, but also because ketones suppress ghrelin, the primary hormone responsible for hunger. Interestingly, what some individuals perceive as hunger at this stage is often not physiological hunger, but rather a desire for variety or stimulation, what could be described as a behavioral or dopamine-driven craving. Another key physiological effect is the reduction in systemic inflammation. EPA and DHA serve as precursors to specialized pro-resolving mediators, including resolvins, which actively help terminate inflammatory processes. At therapeutic doses, such as the levels achieved in this protocol, these compounds can significantly reduce inflammatory signaling, potentially improving joint comfort, cardiovascular health, and even sleep quality. Concerns about mercury exposure are often raised with fish consumption. However, sardines are among the lowest mercury seafood options due to their small size and short lifespan. Furthermore, their high selenium content provides a protective effect, as selenium binds to mercury and reduces its biological toxicity. By the third day, the metabolic shift becomes more pronounced. Ketone production is fully established, and many individuals experience enhanced cognitive clarity and stable energy levels. Selenium intake at this level may also support thyroid function, particularly the conversion of thyroxine, T4, to its active form, triiodothyronine, T3, which can influence metabolic rate and thermogenesis. Additionally, omega-3 fatty acids have been shown to activate brown adipose tissue, a metabolically active form of fat that generates heat through mitochondrial activity. This process, known as thermogenesis, may contribute to increased energy expenditure and improved metabolic flexibility. Digestively, the absence of processed carbohydrates and fermentable irritants may lead to reduced bloating and improved gastrointestinal comfort. The gut microbiome may also benefit from this temporary dietary simplification, as short-term fasting-like states have been associated with increased microbial diversity and improved gut barrier function. By the fourth day, the benefits often become more visibly apparent. Skin health may improve due to the incorporation of omega-3 fatty acids into cell membranes, enhancing hydration and reducing inflammation. Joint mobility may also improve as inflammatory mediators decline. The presence of taurine may further support neurological calmness and sleep regulation through its effects on GABA activity. Importantly, unlike traditional fasting, this approach provides sufficient protein to preserve lean muscle mass. This is a critical distinction, particularly for individuals who are already lean or at risk of muscle loss. By the fifth day, the cumulative effects are substantial. There is often a marked improvement in metabolic markers, mood stability, appetite regulation, and overall sense of control over dietary habits. The significant increase in omega-3 intake shifts the balance between omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, which is a key factor in reducing chronic inflammation in modern diets. Perhaps the most meaningful outcome, however, is behavioral. Successfully adhering to a structured dietary protocol can enhance self-regulation and reduce dependence on ultra-processed foods. This reinforces the alignment between physiological signals and conscious decision-making, which is essential for long-term health outcomes. It is important to note that any restrictive dietary intervention should be approached thoughtfully. Adequate electrolyte intake is essential, and supplementation with certain vitamins, such as B-complex vitamins, may be beneficial in some individuals. When concluding the 5-day period, a gradual reintroduction of a balanced whole food diet is recommended to allow the digestive system to readjust smoothly. In summary, while this approach is unconventional, it provides a compelling example of how targeted nutritional strategies can rapidly influence metabolic health, inflammation, and overall physiological function when grounded in scientific principles.